Okay, so Tanya gave us a great summary on getting it started. I'm going to run us through what the practice looks like, as well as the difference between practice and PLIX. And as well as I'm going to go a little more into how it integrates into Google Classroom, because that's one of the main things that I absolutely love. So right here, I chose algebra in my profile. So my dashboard is going to have everything that includes anything algebra. If you add more than one subject, which you totally can, you'll see more than you'll see all the subjects you choose in your profile. So again, you can access through your dashboard, or you can go to your subjects, click on the subject you're wanting, and then it has all the topics here. So I like that it's kind of like a combination of Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So I go here, and I'm going to go to function notation. So you have, from here you can access everything also. So you have a video that incorporates to this and a practice. You don't have to assign everything to Google Classroom. You can assign what you want. So as of right now, I've created a Google Classroom for my repeaters, the students who failed semester 1. And for the most part, I'm choosing the video and the practice for them to remediate for that first semester. So what's great also is that the practice will tell you about how long it should take them to complete it. So 17 minutes plus the video. And I feel like if I wanted to, I could probably assign another practice from a different section that's related to this topic. And they could complete that also. So if you already know you want to assign it, you can just directly assign to your class. I'll walk through that in a minute, but let's just preview it so you can see what happens. I'm just going to give you a brief overview. I've already opened this one a few times, so you can see I'm at 6 out of 10. So if you're a student, it'll take you directly back to where you left off. So if I get something wrong, check it. It's going to tell you, hey, it's wrong. Try again. They can get a hint right here. They can click through the hints it gives them. They can, okay, got it. Answer, they have a scratch pad right here. So let's get it wrong again. Wrong. Well, it'll give them a full step-by-step solution, and then the student can see, oh, okay, yeah, that's how you do it. Got it. Next, it'll give them another question similar to the one you just got. And so it's about mastering the skill. When it comes to this practice. If you are a teacher and you're previewing this and you're like, I don't really like this question, or it's not worded properly, you can improve this question. So you can suggest how it should be improved and then submit it. And then the creators or the people from CK-12 will take your suggestion into account. Also, you will notice that up here it has a skill level, right? So then the student is also motivated to improve that skill level. So when they get something right, so right here the answer would be -24. Correct. Move on to the next question. And these are a little harder because I'm already at question 7, so I got all the easier ones right. But again, it's the same process. So if the student decides to pause, they can stop for now. And from a student perspective, you're not going to see this because we're the teacher and we're previewing, but it'll have the option of turn in. Okay. And you'll see what that says. So right here, the student can see they got 7 correct, and then how long they spent on it and what skill level they were at. You as a teacher will be able to access this even if you don't create the classroom in CK-12. Now, if you decide to assign this to class, you can just click assign to class. Oops. If you did your CK-12 and you added all your students, that's fine. I have not, so I just directly transport it to my Google Classroom. Mostly I'm using this for my first semester recovery, which is these students right here. Show the correct answers, and then the due date, right? So I'm giving the due dates for May 11th, and then you can assign to classroom. And then it'll automatically post it on there. If you don't like it, or let's say you want to cover more than one topic, instead of giving them 5 different separate practice assignments, you can combine all of them in one. So you just create your own, title it. You can limit the number of attempts. You can give them a time limit. And right here, you would just add the question set. So let's say you want to do function notation and you want to do a separate one. It's really self-explanatory. You just kind of do the same thing, and then you just click whatever topics you want, and then you select, and then ta-da, there you go. And you can choose how many questions of each one you want. Okay, so function notation, I only want 10 of these, right? So then you just hit the down arrow to whatever number you want. Okay, and you can assign that as well. So it is customizable. Okay, so that's a little bit of the practice and how you can assign it. So before I move on to the PLIX part of it, I'm going to take you to my Algebra 1 first semester recovery. This is my actual Google Classroom. I go to classwork, and as you can see, I've assigned a few assignments, right? Because it's based on first semester, and these are my kids who just need a little extra help. You can click on any one of these, go to the kids that are turned in. It does not matter which student you click on. This little link right here, you can just go on ahead and click on that. When you click on it, it'll take you to this location right here. And what's great is that you can see that I've selected this box right here. This student, she obviously gets that. It took her 3 minutes to get it done. She did a total of 11 questions. As soon as she got her 10, she's all like, okay, I'm done. I get it. So here's a student over here. For this assignment, they spent 230 minutes on it. They had 6 straight in a row, 82 correct, and you can see right here they did 149 questions. What's even better is that you can see what questions they did. So number 2, that was their first try, second try. See, they didn't know. They're like, okay, well, that's not really an option. So they had to get it right. And they had to keep doing it until you can see that they had a lot of first tries and second tries. But they did, if you keep scrolling down, it will show you all 149 questions that they completed. All the way, ta-da, which I really, really like. As well as you can see a whole bunch of dashes over here. So this student needs to turn it in. There's some of them. So for example, this student right here, they haven't even started. This is a teacher, okay? That's not a real grade. But this person hasn't even started that section. And you can tell that by looking at it. So you can still kind of see, well, what students have started it, what students haven't, okay? Out of the students who've turned it in. So needs to turn in. So she's working on it. She's just not at the grade she wants or needs. You can also download it as a CSV, as you can see here. So again, that's one of the great things about it, is that this is directly through my Google Classroom. I already had a Google Classroom set up with all my students. So for me personally, I didn't want to take the hassle to have to create a whole nother classroom through CK-12. If you look at my classes, I started to create one. And I was like, yeah, not gonna happen. I'm literally the only member because I can just integrate it to Google Classroom directly. All right, now let's go talk about our domain and range. So you can access it the way we did it earlier through subjects and going to the topics you want. But it's also already in my dashboard because I recently viewed it. So I can click on it through here. You can assign to class, add to library, or preview it. So right here, the difference between practice and this PLIX is that practice, if a student gets it wrong, it'll recycle questions until they master that specific skill. As for this one, they click challenge me. If they get a question wrong, it gives them the correct answer and then they move on. So the first thing it's asking them to do is to move the red points to the weekly earnings. So let's just estimate it. 50 and then 150. Okay. And then they choose their answer. If they get it correct, it'll let them know immediately. They can also hit the learn more button where it'll give them more information on the topic you're covering. What's great about it is, as you can see right here, it gives them a summary of what they're looking for in words, but it also gives them a video. So if you have your students who can just read something and say, oh, okay, I get it. But then you have your other students who need that more visualization, right? You can see that it's pointing at things and making them see, hey, you plug it in here, you do it. And it's a video format, so that's also great because it has that for multiple of these topics. Here's another video where it's talking about it. And then you hit next. A student fills it in, submits, and let's say they get something wrong. It'll tell them show the correct answer, and then they can reflect on what happened. They can also go to the learn more button, but it does move you on. Again, if you like it and you're like, well, I want to have a student try to attempt this, you can assign it to class the exact same way. Just go to your Google Classroom and ta-da, there you go.